Jonah, you're the group caller tonight. What happened last time?
Last time, we were in Galuvia and we did some research there. You guys asked some questions to Ross, and we figured out some stuff about the palace's location, and I believe, I can't remember the other two. But after we asked around and got that job from Percy to take him to Mir, we took 2 days in town and did that stuff, and then we took off north. Eventually, the nice road gave way to a trail where we encountered some scruffy people who waylaid us. And our dwarf's big chest and bigger biceps made him stand down. Yeah, and then we went our separate ways with them. Wonder where they're off to, though. That should be interesting. And yeah, we're still on our way down this trail to Mir at this point.
Awesome. Yes, I agree with all of that. Whoops.
Quick question. Did we get the name? Did we get the name of the guy who was in charge of those scruffy dudes? Did we ever hear anything from him?
Let me check.
I don't recall a name.
Oh, and here was that rough map of the area.
Ah, okay. Oh, so Thorald would be on that path to the west. I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, okay. This helps a lot. I wonder then where that trail up ahead, because the trail is split in two directions. One way goes to the west, the other to the east.
Yeah, maybe
I wonder
just
if that trail to
along
the
the
west
mountain.
matches up with Thorald.
Maybe.
So, I'll kind of describe what's around you right now, and then what you can see, and then and what happens, and then I'll toss it over to to Daniel. You can see around you basically. So there is this, maybe a mile ahead. You can see a intersection in the trail. It sharply cuts back to your left, to the west, and then the trail continues on from there to your right front. You can see that about a couple miles ahead from where you are. The terrain is starting to rise again, and you can also see far off in the distance, miles away. You're kind of in this grassland area with these rocky berms. You can tell that you're starting to get into the foothills of some mountain ranges, which you can see way off in the distance. Like if you imagine like being at the foot of the Rocky Mountains or Banff or something, it'd be like, you could see it 100 miles away, even at a low point. And you can see that way off, and you can also see straight ahead of you a large forest that is just like this sea of green that sits at the foot of those mountains going all the way up to their base. And to your right, you can see a forest way off miles away as well, and to your left or rear. And you were just, as you said, Jonah, you were just waylaid by a bunch of highwaymen, but Routnick stared down the leader, and they backed away and they left you. On the condition that they asked that you had never seen them, and that
Right.
they offer as well that they will have never seen you. And they offer you that as if perhaps you'll need it. And Percy is shaken by this. And he just looks just white with horror when he sees this. and you see a look of recognition on his face when he sees the man who was speaking to Routnick. And he says, "Oh, I think we ought to try to hurry up and get to Mir. Maybe we should try to push a little bit into the dark. Maybe push a little harder each day."
I don't see why not. As long as our rations hold up.
If we do, we might be able to make it, and I think, you all are out of rations, right?
I think I have 2 left.
Oh, okay.
I have 5 left because I bought some more.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Likewise.
cool.
Yeah, I got 7 left.
Okay, so everybody's used 5 rations so far?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay. He says, "I think if we push hard, maybe just a bit into the darkness today, we might be able to arrive, not next morning, but next." And then you hear this. Sorry, it's a bit loud. My bad. And there's a sudden storm that buffets you around.
Druk is gonna try to press Percy for more information. In particular, he's gonna ask if he's ran into those scruffy looking guys before.
As soon as the rain just starts dumping, he's like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, we need to act quickly."
Druk will growl.
He starts like looking around. He scrambles up over the berm where those people had tried to ambush you all. Looks around over the top of that. All of you are also getting drenched.
What are you looking for, Percy?
We need to find a place to hide. Oh, this is terrible.
Druk growls and says, "All right, but our conversation's not over yet, Percy. We'll talk of this later." And he'll try to help out.
Okay.
Likewise.
You're a ranger wizard, I think. So Druga, right? Druga's a
ranger cleric.
Ranger cleric.
Priest rather.
Ranger priest. Okay, so you could make a wisdom check with advantage to try to find. He's scrambling around looking for cover, looking for something to try to dive into amongst the rocky berms and brooks and creeks nearby of this grassland. Okay, the 12, and then whatever your bonus is does pass. So you do find a very small and uncomfortable rocky, what looks like maybe a little cave space at the head of a brook. It'll be a tight fit, but if you're looking for a place to try to cover yourself from the elements, that'd be where to do it.
Reminds me of home too.
There you go. All right, now let's
Sure.
take
I'll
some cover. then.
push as many of us as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. He gets inside. He starts digging out some of the sand and silt from the brook and the stones. And he looks. He's like, okay. And he checks his stuff. He brings his little pony in. The poor little pony's got like half his butt stuck out in the rain because there's no way a pony's going to fit in here with you guys. And he's like, okay, when the time comes, I think we'll be able to build a fire here.
Why don't we take off our cloaks so that they don't get wet and just go grab some fuel out there while it's not completely soaked and bring it in here.
I think it's soaked.
Okay.
Yeah,
At this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, first 2-hour period passes without event, and he, Percy, he says, Have none of you traveled through these lands before?
We're new to
I
these
don't.
parts.
Oh. When darkness falls, and he's been able to produce a campfire for you each night. Which, by the way, a few rules I was reading over, I get surprised because there are rules that, like, honestly, I just glaze over because I just assume. But, for example, according to the rules, if you were to do a melee attack, you do not add strength in this game. That's what I read.
Oh,
You do your damage dice for the weapon, and you add anything from a talent only.
it's kind of clean though. Oh,
Foundation.
That's what
So that's like something I wouldn't have even read because it says like attack, and I'm like, oh, I know how to make an attack in D&D, you know, and I just don't even read
yeah.
it. You know?
That makes sense because, like, for some of the things where it's like, hey, you have +1 to your spell casting, it's like, well, or I could take a +2 from my increased wisdom now. But okay, now that makes a lot more sense.
That suggests
thinking a
though
little
that the game expects you to make more attribute checks, otherwise the attributes don't mean anything. So. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to point out, because I would have, and actually I'm pointing this out, and please don't let me forget it if it comes up, is because I will probably just, out of reflex, because we do Old School Essentials and Swords and Wizardry, in those games you can move and attack and then you're done. And in Swords and Wizardry, if you do a ranged attack, you can't move. So in this game, it's like 5e. You can move, attack, move. You can attack and move. You can do it in any order. So like,
Okay.
don't let me screw that up. And then also in moving past, there are no opportunity attacks. I think I've already screwed that up several times. You can move past anything, but if you try to move past an enemy, it requires a check. That's it.
Okay.
And anyways,
And if you fail, they'll stop you. in
yeah,
tracks,
then you're
right?
stuck in melee. Yeah, and you can't move past.
Gotcha.
So in this game, to create a a campfire, you expend 3 torches, and Percy has been able to do that thus far with his pony, and he seems really obsessed with being able to do that right now.
Any of you lads want to help him build a fire or dry out some clothes or something?
I can do one or the other. I've got 2 torches to supply as well.
I can cover the torches. I've got plenty. I'll mark 3 off.
You guys don't have to. Actually, Percy has torches, and he's able to light the campfire. It just seems what he's preoccupied with. And this
In that
is the beginning of the day.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
Oh.
I'll mark up a ration.
This is like having an NPC who knows that they're in like Ravenloft or Dark Sun and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, so he starts a campfire, and just seems really obsessed with keeping it lit, and he just shivers there. And yeah, you know, if you all want to dry your cloaks and boots and things like that, everybody's somewhat able to do that, except the back half of your poor pony is his butt sticking out in the storm. But he looks universally miserable, storm or not, so it's not new for him.
Does your armor block out water, or is it resistant like your raincoat is?
Your armor? Oh, I mean, everything is soaked, but I wouldn't,
Okay.
you know, it's all right.
If
but-
I'd be able to, then Nick would have taken off his leather armor and used it to cover the horse's outer half, so it's not as
Oh,
wet.
okay. Yeah, you try to care for the horse. The horse looks passively miserable either way, but you know.
See, Ross, you only think that Seeker Yuri is soaked, but uses that extra shield to great effect.
Nice. Yeah, all right. You are able to improvise something to try to rest in. The most peculiar thing is we're talking this is like 9 a.m. I've moved time
I
forward.
just use my shield as an umbrella, so, you know, we're good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And it looks like Percy with the storm is intent on like hunkering down for the entire day and night.
Mr. Percy, are these types of sudden storms very common in these parts?
He wrings his hand and he says, "Oh, in the month of Ambermont, yeah, they come. Yeah, it's not the storms though; it's the mist."
The mist is the bad part.
Yes, if the mist comes, either during the storm or after, or if darkness falls, we need to ensure this fire does not go out.
We can do that. Is there some special precaution? Why is that special precaution necessary?
I've lost friends in the mist before, and I've heard even worse stories. The mists mostly stay on the north side of the mountain ranges north of Mir. Anyone that goes into them never returns, but sometimes the mists come over into the land, into the valley of Galuvia. Usually when that happens, we go inside.
I see.
I have enough kindling and firewood as long as we can keep this overhang dry, and so long as it doesn't flood, I can keep it going for probably until the middle of the night, and then I'll be out of firewood.
How misty is it outside right now, or is it just raining?
It's just raining. It's just blanketing
Okay.
rain. Yeah, there's not mist yet. It is hard to see, so like the lack of visibility is just the torrents of rain so far, not
Gotcha.
yeah.
Does anyone have an axe with them? Just out of curiosity?
Everybody looks at the dwarves.
Yeah.
Hey, I showed up with a great sword, though that might work too.
Druga kind of looks at his long sword and top to bottom. No axes here.
You got just crowbars, that could probably do something.
Wax
I
and
got a-
blue love.
I got a great sword, and I got grit.
It
I'm
is
just
a pretty great
thinking-
sword.
Oh, go ahead.
Actually, it's got nothing special besides.
Okay. I was just thinking maybe we can just go get some extra wood out there for the night, dry it out in here while the fire's going.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, try to find something covered with brush and get it near the fire to try to dry it out as best you can. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not ideal, but I you know what I'll do is I'll say if you do that, it'll just be a check to see if it works, if you have to do it, or if you want to try.
Oh, okay.
Is there rocks and stuff around here, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to start pulling them in and try to pile them along the sides of us so we can maybe build something of a little wall.
Okay. Yeah, you try to improve this place to be able to sleep in it, try to help the poor drenched pony and guard the fire and everything. And all right, so yeah, I'll say if you want, you gather some wet wood. We'll see if you need it here in a second. This is 8 hours. Nothing happens. That brings us, let's see, 8 hours, 10, 18. It is now evening time. And at this point, let's see here. It's not working. Weird.
I see the mountain and the buildings.
Yeah.
Nighttime comes. And so there you are along the trail, having made your little camp. Let's see here. So we got another 12 is 6, so another 6 checks for staying here.
Sorry about that.
I was like, what does the red one do?
Yeah, that was really confusing. I pressed one of the dice buttons. Like, what does this just immediately do it? And then suddenly it exploded. And...
All right. The middle of the night comes and he runs out of firewood. I assume you all set up watches. What do you do?
I'm gonna go
He
on watch,
requisition
but,
us for more.
He's probably asleep, but he's already told you basically the firewood goes out and he has no more.
We'll just have to
Okay.
tough it out.
I got 3 torches.
I got 2.
All right.
Yeah.
So who, Steve, you're gonna use yours.
I'll use mine. Like in case light should we need it.
Oh, how long does that last?
Only in hours, but I can keep doing it. As long as it doesn't screws it
Oh
up.
yeah, in an emergency, good point. Okay, well if you use your 3 torches, it lasts 8 hours, and you build a campfire, it lasts through the night, and mercifully, the weather clears.
Praise the Lord's order.
And the sun rises on a very muddy day. And also, thankfully, the mists, although they the obscurations scattered along the foothills here, it has a brisk wind with it, thankfully, and so it doesn't lay here among the foothills. And so visibility is also normal as well. So visibility goes back up.
Okay.
Right. Everybody should
Before
mark
we
off another
continue,
ration.
Good thinking. We'll need to hunt soon then. And before I forget, I'll have Raltnik dry off his leather armor from the horse's butt.
All right. Yeah, you take your armor off the horse's butt, and it's wet and soggy and smells like horse butt. But the horse butt is nice and dry, and you did that for that, and your god smiles upon you. You can take a luck token for that.
You're very kind. And it's no worry because I already sort of smelled like that.
Yeah. And then
Like
at that, Percy, when he awakens in the morning, he looks, he's like, "Oh, everything's okay. I'm so grateful for all of you. You know, Landon he was right about you. If we make it to the singing candle, I will pay you triple. I will pay you each 15 gold."
Oh, no ifs. We will make it.
Yes, you're right, of course.
Although
And-
we did use up a lot of torches, so you know the odds is less.
Everybody looks at you.
We don't need to know the odds.
Look at that.
And no, so I don't know too much about horses, but what I do know is with their armors, you should stay away from open flames.
Yeah. So you travel along the road for the rest of that day, and nightfall approaches. And Percy, at this point, seems anxious. You can, first of all, describe around you. You can see that the forests are starting to kind of gather in around you, and you can see the foothills coming into clear view ahead, and the mountains just seem, imposing as if they haven't moved at all. But the foothills have grown closer, and the forests have kind of gathered around you. And you think you see smoke rising up off in the distance. And Percy says, actually, let me check. He says, I think if we travel in the night and just keep going, we might make it there. It would be safer than trying to camp out here. And we would have a warm hearth, and all of you would have free food. so long as you're in, so long as you stay with us in Mir.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
I won't say no to free food.
All right, you've traveled 2 hexes, so to try to attempt a 3rd hex on foot, you have to pass a Constitution check. I'll toss that over to Daniel, like a DC 12 Constitution check. You have a negative modifier?
Constitution, I have 0.
Nice. All right, so that
just
passes.
Straight 12.
So that allows you to push through for another hex, and you'll also need to use torches. I will say that you need to expend another 3 torches if you're going to try to make it.
I offer
I'll
1 or 2.
try some magics here.
You can also try to use your magic, indeed.
Ah.
Oh!
Do it upon us all.
Remember the things I said about to be making lights? Well, maybe tomorrow's.
Got the trusty torches.
Druga steps forward and he says, let me give it a shot. Let's see how the winds of magic are. And he kind of like snaps his fingers, trying to produce sparks. And what button do I press? There we go.
Oh no. Oh wait.
And it just barely,
Nice.
he makes it out.
All right,
You
yeah.
do that the whole times.
All right, if somebody can mark off 2 torches, or you could try it again if you want to try it like 2 or 3 more times. I guess you might as well come to think of it,
Yeah,
because
might
you
as well.
lose the unless there's a mishap and then you invite a demon into the world or something.
Oopsie
Got a
doodle.
good 5%
this-
chance of that. So
This is worth the demons. You know, we're I don't want that mist coming back unabatedly. And I'll go like to other things that the party members have, and I'll keep just kind of flicking my hands over it, trying to cover them in magic.
nice. All right, there's hour 2.
Use one on Trevor's cigarette.
My magic begins to fade. I can't cover the cigarette.
That's
Oh.
disappointing.
I'll do 1 torch. I'll mark it off.
All right, the 1 torch is enough, and you see buildings come into view in the darkness, and you have made it to Mir after your long journey, and Percy just beelines straight into his the tavern, and he just slumps down near the hearth, and he's like, "Oh, let me get your gold just as soon as I warm up and relax these foot muscles a little bit. 15 gold each, and free food and a place to stay, but I would warn you a few things about Mir and Galuvia. Wherever your travels take you from here. First, this is a halfling shire, but be warned of the people here." And you look around and there's lots of humans, and the humans have an appearance to them kind of like the rough sort of people you encountered that you met on the road. And he says, best just to not ask any questions here in Mir. That's what I would suggest.
We've gotten that suggestion quite a few times now.
No opinions, no questions. It's
The-
like life's a crime.
Aha. Yes, crime. Well, the second thing that you might be careful for here in Mir is you may want to you'll find if you try to go to the other stores and inns here that the other halflings might not, they may not think well of you. Try not to take it personally.
Are you saying they look down on us?
He looks up at you as you say that. Um, uh, I'm sure that's not the case, but people have a turn about them that I just want you to know. But you're welcome here at the Singing Candle, and we'll get you some drinks and your money, and even and where did you say you were going next? He at this point he comes over to a table and pulls up a chair and hops into it and brings some chairs over.
We were fixing to head to Thorold.
Thorold. Ah. What business did you say you had in Galuvia and Thorold?
Oh. Did we actually tell him this? Or
You did,
I don't-
yeah, actually. But
Also, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but isn't Myrrh the halfling place, and then Thorhold is the horse town?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the other direction. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so just reiterate to him that we're heading to Thorold to possibly then head up into the mountains to find some riches. The palace, the myth of the palace.
You're you're trying to find the. Oh, that's right. You're trying to find the palace, the legendary palace of the Silver Princess.
That's right.
Yes, Excellence.
None of that.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
Well, you did. What's so funny?
He's still laughing, look at him.
That was 500 years ago, if that myth is even true. But I didn't mean any offense. I wish you the best, but those mountains are far more dangerous than what we just walked through.
Well,
We
what
got
can
through it
expect?
just fine.
What sort of beasts or man-eating mists might we encounter in the mountains?
That was just the foots of the mountains. We haven't got those yet. Remember
Mm,
that they told us in the last cities. Got abominations beyond human comprehensions. You got people with more limbs than they should, making
Right.
peoples have less limbs than they should. More mists, probably. Pretty horrible place. Probably. Need to carry a lot of them sticks with us.
You know, it's strange that you're traveling there to find this. There's a standing court order that has existed for now more than a decade that if anyone could find the heirloom of Argenta, that Lady Demis would pay them handsomely. Lady Demis fancies herself the descendant of the Princess Argenta, you know.
Is she?
I hardly think so. Please don't tell anyone I said that.
Secret safe with me.
We're
Well,
far
I'll tell you
away
what.
enough.
We won't tell anyone if you don't tell anyone else that we are absolutely not bringing that crystal to Miss.
I don't blame you. And I will be further honest and say I don't think you'll find anything but death and ice in those mountains. But I will tell you, if you plan to go in those mountains, you'll need to be better than just on those feet. Maybe you could find horses and hardy mules in Thorold. They do train and sell them there. I could write you a letter of commission for everything that you've done for me. It won't stand for much in Thorold, but I am known there.
That would be very kind.
Very well. And the waiter, the bar maid, brings out food and drink. And there's this big heaping pile of food. It's far better than the rations you've had on the road. They are frog legs, but they're giant. I mean, they're like this big, and they're salted and spiced, and the salt and spice and the smell of the fried frog legs gets up in your nose. And if you like frog legs, then it'd be good, you think. And then there's the famous royal wine that you've heard about this place from Lambdamon, and he brings out a carafe of it, and everyone gets full to the brim goblets of the best wine you've ever tasted before.
Should we put our money together and do some what is it? Carousing? What was it called?
Yeah, if you have money, you can absolutely do that. For drinking this wine, you each get 1 XP. Just this one
Ooh.
time.
Wonderful. Halfway to level 2.
You said that the humans in the bar here, they resemble the people who waylaid us, correct?
Yeah, in the sense that they're dressed as ruffians.
I see.
They look like rough people.
Okay.
People
okay.
of the road. So, what do you all do? I'm gonna roll for see if there's an encounter here. She entered mirror, and there's not.
Yeah, do you guys want to pool some cash and do some carousing now?
You'll never get a dwarf to say no to booze.
That's cost.
How are we gonna afford our way back if we spend all our dosh carousing here?
I don't think we intend to go back.
Well, are we going to Thorald or what?
See,
Because
now
we're gonna.
Well,
Uh-huh.
those sounds like questions to worry about tomorrow.
right
I've
now
got
we've
is-
got this wine.
Now, I will say that
Got his 15 gold pieces.
it is quite expensive, and I'm going to go by the book. That's part of the experiment for this game for me, is to try to go by the book. It says that each participant pitches in for the cost. Never mind, I'm wrong, of the event. I read it wrong. That's so cool. Yeah, if you can piece together 30 gold pieces, you can roll D8 and see what you get. And if you get an 8, you get up to 4 XP. You can almost get to level 2.
Wow.
Well,
Is
there's
that
5 of us here.
30x?
We all wanna...
Yeah, is that that's 30 between all of us?
Yeah, so if you all put together 30, if you put together, actually, and then it goes up a lot. Basically, you need a lot of gold for it to matter beyond that. But
So
yeah.
30 total or 30 per person?
No, 30 total. Yeah.
30 total, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I just read
Okay.
it. So it says here, 2 corrals. Each participant pitches in for the cost of the event. Which I'm very pleased with. I actually really like that.
Heck yeah. I'll
do
put my
it.
coins in for that.
You also, if you have any junk, you could try to sell it too, if that helps.
I think
We
we're
have the
low on
Yeah,
that.
can Yuri liquidate this old shield for 10 gold?
Yeah. What I'd actually give me a second here, because I really want to. Actually, I think I remember what it says. Roll a charisma check. It doesn't say this, but this is how I'll do it, just to see the price.
All right.
You might be able to get more than 10 gold. You do get more than 10 gold. So I'll say that you get 16 gold for the shield.
Beauty.
Sweet. I'll throw in 10 of that for the carousing. Yuri is notably grumpy throughout this exchange. He's only here for the secrets. But alcohol will probably loosen him up, but he'll throw in 10 toward the
Trevor checks in 5.
All right, 5 for me.
Well, Krugatos is in 5.
Alright, so that's what, 5 more from Raltnik?
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Sorry, what'd you say, Tanner?
That is correct.
All right, cool. Well, let's see. Jonah, roll a D8. let's see what happens.
All right.
It
Five.
says, oh no.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Um,
Each of us get to roll
oh,
one
this
too.
is such terrible news too.
What is it?
I don't have the. Let me see if I have. You drank and you drank of this wine. You drank the whole carafe down, and then you bring in other people nearby, even though Percy told you not to talk to them, and they start drinking too, and then you take a liking to one group of them. The other group, they tell you, well, that other group there, they're a bunch of dumbasses, you know, and you're like, yeah, they are, and you start getting like drunk out of your mind from all the wine, and then you basically end up in a big fight, and you tear this whole tavern down. They're like half the tables are destroyed. People have been thrown through glass. The bar, like a bunch of glasses are destroyed. Drinks are everywhere. Percy. So good news and bad news. The bad news is Percy is insanely angry with you, and he's like, get out now. And he throws you out in the dark on your ass, and you're not going to get that commission.
Oh,
No.
And you lose another 10%, so that would be 3 gold.
worth it.
And you're barred from the Singing Candle Inn forever, but you each get 3 XP, which is a lot in this
Worth it.
game.
Wow.
So
Wait.
you're gonna need a place to sleep. There is a place with a light on. It's mostly for locals, though. But there is another tavern.
We could just camp out on someone's roof somewhere. What they don't know won't hurt them.
If you have the torches, you can camp in the wilderness, but you do take encounter rolls to do that.
Oh no, not the wilderness. Somebody's house in town.
You could try.
Crawl under their porch.
Yeah, crawling under a porch.
Do you want to risk trying to sleep as a squatter on a hobbit one of the halfling shire's houses?
We are drunk
the very-
out of our minds.
Yeah.
This is
you
a
are.
very unique reinterpretation of the Scourging of the Shire.
This is probably how it actually happened. Maybe this is what actually happened. The true tale of this. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should we squat somewhere? Should we sneak into an empty room or abandoned house? Should we just sleep in the square like animals? What do you guys think?
Do they have like a big barn or stable for horses somewhere here?
Let me look. I'm sure they do.
Maybe we'll just try to bust in there quietly.
See,
So-
the problems we're gonna have with that is that there's horses in this. So we gotta get them out so we can sleep.
Honestly,
Or,
we'll
I
just make
mean,
wonderful
are there
bed
any
clothes.
temples to Ord, or
This
Or
seems
other
like an
deities, yeah.
especially unreligious town. There is you can see. This is a bit too hardcore. Let me get something kind of soft going here. That's hardcore too. Jeez Louise. There we go.
It's a
kinda
pretty
spooky.
badass soundtrack.
Yeah, I just need it to. It's like, whoa. Come on now. Let's see here. Actually, maybe. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so. What do you see here? You see stumbling in the dark. You see that there's a town, kind of a town center right across from the Singing Candle, which is probably the biggest building in town. When you go out, you see a little tiny building. Maybe one of you so drunk you think it's a halfling house, and you go up to it, it's actually the town well. You almost fall in. And then, like, there's...
That would probably be Raltnik, because we know his track record with wells.
Yeah. There is a dedicated inn right across from that. And you can actually see a lantern lit with a candle outside indicating that it's an inn only. It's meant for traveling visitors, the Raspberry Cottage Inn. And then you see some other buildings. If you kind of stumble around, you can see that there's another tavern, but it's not lit. It looks like maybe it's for locals, and it doesn't look like anybody's imbibing at night. And there's a general store, and other than the houses, this is the only thing you see here in Mir.
In that case, we'll just bang our fist on. I'll bang my fist on the door of that inn, and then, without waiting, just immediately open the door and go in, and declare, "Rooms, please." You open, and there's a halfling man there, and he's like, "Oh, hello. Well, of course, I suppose so. You look like you've had a very difficult journey." Very difficult.
Oh my. Well, let's get you to your rooms right away. It sounds like you're tired out of your mind and can hardly even speak or walk. It's 5 silver each, though.
Very good. Clink.
Alright, silver right away. We'll tell you of our heroism over breakfast tomorrow. Oh, my head.
I think you'll enjoy our famous pies that we make here. But anyways, rooms first, and he gets all the stuff, and he leads you into rooms, and this is like a bed and breakfast / motel type place. Like, this is dedicated just for that. You can tell that the other rooms are occupied, like many of them are, which is very strange because you didn't see that many people coming or going from this place. You didn't see that many people out and about. But anyways, he still manages to get you all probably one large common room, but it's very comfortable. It even has its own little hearth. And you awaken the next day with a hangover. But, oops. Actually, that's pretty, well, no, it's too much of a beat. Let's see.
While you're picking the music, Raltnik will drink 2 barrels of water to get that hangover out of him.
Yeah, you go out to the well, dump some water on your head. Everybody thinks you're quite boorish. Halflings walk by in the streets. A halfling woman shields her small halfling child's eyes at the terribly rude behavior of the dwarf.
I'll bark at the lady with the child.
Spare me your booze. I've seen what you churn out.
Before returning to the inn.
All right. I didn't expect you all to do the carousing, but that is the point: is to make money and then keep blowing it on.
For the
booze.
It's fun to get those
3 XP.
Yeah, that's
random results.
Yeah, that's how you advance in this game. So, yeah.
Who knows how the party's gonna go?
Yeah. All right. Cool. What do you all do now?
Well, according to the map that we've got here, Thorald is off to the west, and there are 2 trails that go to the west. Sort of the one back where we came, and then there was that T intersection, and then there's also the one that's sort of more straight west from here.
Yeah, in fact, this image actually is pretty good for that, to kind of indicate it. One of them kind of hugs the foothills. It's not this steep. It's not like a mountain yet. It's more like this over here. But one of them hugs that directly across from the town, leading into a forest. And the other one goes back the way you came, into a grassland, if you're trying to follow one of those 2 trails. And there's a third trail that goes the opposite direction. It goes, I wish this would not be the default. The other one goes, so like if this one goes, kind of hugs the forest, or goes in the forest, hugs the foothills, and there's the way you came, there's a one in the opposite direction. And it also hugs the foothills, but there's no forest, it's barren, and goes the other way.
When Percy was talking about that mist, I guess it can possibly get down to where we were. That's why he was scared. But I assume if we go closer to the foothills in through that forest, maybe it's more dangerous. Not sure. What do you guys think?
I'm guessing anywhere in the direction away from the settlements and the roads is going to be a lot more dangerous than where we are.
True.
Which means we're clear to go anywhere, risk our lives.
Well,
How
As long-
confident are we on our knowledge of alleged location of the palace?
Pretty clear, I feel.
we got a rough idea of where it is, right?
From where we are, it's probably west northwest.
Yeah.
If we just stick
How
to-
far?
That's a good question. If we
We
knew
don't know
how
that, yeah.
far, if we knew how far Thorald was specifically, we'd have a pretty darn accurate estimation of where it is. I can take a picture of the map that I have so far and kind of show it.
Thanks,
We
Chris.
could also, I mean, I know the halflings may not be terribly on all these non-halflings, but could also try to find a guide or some more information about, the territory, how far to store all, yada
That's a
yada.
great idea.
We might even be able to find a caravan or something that's headed the way we were headed already, and we sign on to guard it, or maybe we could even hire somebody to guide us.
Yeah, let's split up the tasks then between just getting some more torches and maybe some food, and then figuring out, asking the locals which road here was the most direct to Thorold, and then
Regrettably, Seeker Yuri is no way charismatic, but I'm happy to. He's got 6 torches left already.
Oh,
I
that's quite a
cleared
few.
up some inventory slots. I have a slot where I carry. They take up a slot each, unfortunately. So I think 6 is as many as I can carry, but
Okay,
I'm
I've
happy
got
to
some
get
slots too.
gold. I've got 9
I've got-
gold I can chip in.
I've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots open, so I can buy 1 torch and the rest food, and then save a slot for the road.
Well,
Also,
Yuri's
the thing that happened earlier. Go ahead, sir.
Yuri's a poverty type of guy, so he'll pay for the torches. Go ahead and he pays for 6 more for carry.
Something I kind of realized because it happened earlier. We are kind of missing some sorts of stuff in the party, so at the very least, I'm checking how much it'll cost. I might just get a battle axe.
Oh yeah, we should get an axe to make firewood.
I only see
Not
great
a bad
axes on
idea.
this. Instead of getting a battle axe, like one for war, I think I'll just pick up like at least a couple hand axes. Ross, how much do you reckon a hand axe might cost? I don't see it in the... Unfortunately, I don't see it on the equipment list anywhere.
Well, first of all, where do you all go? Like, are you looking for a store?
There was that general store.
Okay. So you go up to the general store. You go inside, knock on the door, ring the little bell, open the door, and ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, sounds like that's what we'll do.
Let's see.
Probably
here.
one of the more human ones, because the halflings will not be having us.
Unfortunately,
I bet they'll take our coin.
you only see one general store.
I could try to charm person, though it could go real bad.
Yes, it will go bad. Let's do it.
But I do have advantage on that one.
And there's a couple things going on here. Let me describe this.
You could always take the stuff and leave the coin. I mean, my god wouldn't mind.
Somebody just do some fast talking. Everybody else just kind of.
I've got the highest.
You open the door to the general store, and you see two familiar people. One behind a counter, and there are all sorts of foodstuffs and supplies, all the things that a rugged frontier town like Mir would need. That people gather here from outside trade, and you see a halfling standing on a stool to be able to see out beyond the counter. This looks like a human-sized store. It's like maybe before it wasn't for a halfling. I don't know, but and he's talking to a man with a scar on his face, and you recognize this as the man that you ran into on the road, and the halfling is Percy. And they both look at you all when you enter and glare at you.
Well, if it isn't the single persons in this room that I've met before in my life.
Well, if isn't the person that absolutely trashed my entire tavern after I invited them to stay and pay for everything and my very best wine.
Oh, come on, Percy. You had great times with us. And you know that I sees a smile. I sees a smile. Right, we're all friends here. Bippity boppity boop.
Are you going to try to do it? Oh, no.
Gonna do it.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Is it a nat? No, it's not a nat 20. Okay.
He's my best friend for 8 days.
Really? What?
Oh, the baby boop was charm person.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Spell level 1 charm person.
I took advantage on that one.
I'm just curious. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, so he sees you as a close friend. If they notice anything that might hurt them, then it cancels it. And it lasts for a number of days, magically enchanted. This is kind of cool because it's kind of middle of the road again. And so this is a case where it's right between 5e and BX, because in 5e, it's super limited. Charm person is super weak and very specific what you can do. And then you got the cantrip friendship, I think it's called. And then in BX, it's like literal freaking mind control, and you have a new henchman all of a sudden, and so this is kind of in the middle. That's fine. All right. Yeah, he doesn't smile, but it's subtle. Like you do that, but the man with him does smile. And he's like, well, fancy seeing you all here again. And then Percy, he says, he exhales, and he says, well, Muldain, I suppose we may need to finish this conversation later. And he's like, suppose you're right, Percy. Well, I'll be in the back then. And he goes in the back of the store. The man does. And Percy says, I suppose in a way I am somewhat in your debt now in 2 ways, so perhaps I should just pay for the tavern. You can't tell anyone who I was speaking with or what you know.
Well, like we said, it's never seen that man's in my life 2 times now.
Exactly.
Very well. Well, I'll forget what happened with the wine in the tavern, and I'll be okay for a season, so welcome to my store. I operate the general store here in town during the day.
Quite an affluent business entrepreneur you are, Percy.
I used to be the mayor.
Who's the mayor now? Why aren't you the mayor anymore?
He leans over the counter. It's Galuvian law. A man isn't allowed to be mayor or in charge of anything. The new mayor
I'm thinking.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking. After our little expedition, we might have to try our newfound skill at overthrowing a nation.
Be careful saying that out loud. Even here, there's spies sometimes.
Even in this room.
There could be. Some of her people practice magic. Look, I don't
Trevor
want
looks
any...
at Yuri with absolute shock.
Yeah. I can't do anything about this right now. And besides that, it sounds like you have some sort of suicidal inclination to travel into the mountains. I'll offer anything here at half price to try to help. But don't tell anyone what you saw here, or the humans for that matter in the inn. And if you want to help,
Will not.
if you want to help change things in Galuvia, maybe if you survive and you do find something, maybe you could come back here to Mir.
You are welcome, then we shall do so. I know I would like to begin by purchasing a single torch and a bundle of rations, if that's alright with you.
Yeah, and you guys can purchase anything off the item list at half value rounded up per coin piece. I have got to pee, but you can take a look at what you need so you know that you need it. You know what you have, and then what else was I going to say? Oh, one other thing Percy says. He says, now, also, don't think less of Mayor Daisy. She is a really fine woman. She's actually a great mayor. She did a better job than I ever would have anyways. She's not a part of this. And I gotta pee. I am so sorry. I'll be right back.
You got it.
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Gives me time to look at the item list and grab a snack.
If I'm just starting to learn the Foundry, but in the top right corner there's a thing that says Compendium Pack. If you click on that, it's got the all the items and spells and stuff, and you can just drag them over and put them on your character sheet.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, thanks.
It's kind of
Well,
funny.
unfortunately, there is still no axe. The only axe in the game is the great axe.
It's a very good
Yeah,
act.
needing firewood and not having one of those is a little bit of an oversight. Maybe this is the beta version, but I don't know.
That's true. Let me open up. I have the not beta version as well. The quick start, if I recall. No, wait, the quick start isn't beta anymore, is it?
Actually, weird thought before we continue. Would anybody be willing to spot Raltnik a little gold with the understanding that he'd give up some of his share later on?
How much
I
do you
mean,
need?
if it's coin for coin.
Well, I'm thinking, depending on what's on sale here, and since everything's half off at the moment, I could pick up plate for 30. But I've only got 12 gold.
I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yuri's happy to contribute 8 to the cause, but you've got to be his. You got to keep him alive, okay?
That is a given, and of course he will pay the 8-pack as 10 later.
No.
So you guys are buying freaking military grade hardware and stuff here from this this general store. Now, it's a good
Unless,
thing.
of course, it's not available.
Yeah. No, I wasn't expecting someone to use Charm Person, but it's actually turns out it's a good thing you did because there's something going on here, and he's got all this stuff interestingly, and he does offer it to you. However, I will say if you're buying weapons and armor, it'll be at normal price. You can't buy a suit of plate for.
In that case, I'll just tough it out with leather for now. Horse
Probably a
smelling.
plate anyway. Plate's like 130.
Yuri still contributes his gold to you. He
Alright.
explains that he doesn't like having coin on him. It makes him feel dirty.
Does the armor and weapons here appear used?
It does.
Oh, it's weapons laundry.
Percy.
I see.
He's not the merchant. He's a very naughty boy.
All right. Are we ready to? What's next, Daniel? The
Oh,
group.
sorry. Before we leave the general store, Ross, I have a question about an item because just an axe is nowhere in the rules or anywhere that I can find. The only choice for that would be like a great axe, but I'm looking for just a hand axe. Chop some wood.
Yeah,
Not
fascinating.
so great axe.
Not so great axe.
They don't have zombies in the book either.
Yeah, that's fascinating that great axe is listed, and then so basically I see here that you've got short sword, and that's listed as 7 gold, so I'll just say it's like a short sword. 7 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, and before we take our leave of Percy, I'll ask him if he can direct us to the trail that is the straightest, fastest way to Thorold.
Yeah, he points out there, and he points to the trail that hugs the foothills, sort of this a ways, and he says, "Yeah, that would be the straightest path. I'm not sure what would be worse right now. You see, you would either need to pass through the forests on either side north of Galuvia, where they're subject to Galuvian patrols, or you may run into something that comes from the mists that rolls over the Morefall Mountains sometimes. I suppose whichever you find more dangerous. But the
What
most direct
passage
path...
do the traders take that you like to prey on, Percy?
He grimaces at that, and he says, "We're trying to do the best we can here after what's happened to us since the Baron died. And I don't think you would understand."
Not to stress anyone out or anything, but I just noticed another oversight on the items list.
What is it?
I'm not seeing a water skin.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
no.
just
I
say...
think it's part of the rations.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Now,
Acceptable.
there's a rule about water in this game, and I think it would apply if you were like in a desert or something, or you're in a situation where you can't get water. You die in 3 days if you don't have access to water. So,
Okay, yeah. Well, I say we brave the path that hugs the foothills. Just try and get there as quick as we can.
Good thinking.
Percy, what guarantee do we have that none of your companions will be visiting us on whichever path that we take?
I think there's a misunderstanding. There are people outside of the law in Galuvia, sometimes traveling through the forest, sometimes along the roads, just like the ones you were looking at. They're just trying to survive. They're just trying to get by. And I think if you treat with them on that level and don't threaten them, I don't think that they will be a threat to you.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, we're nearly as impoverished as they are. I'm not sure. I don't trust them.
All right.
So yeah, before we head out, everyone's bought the stuff that they want, right?
Yep, I got what I need. I got 4 torches and a bazillion rations.
Nice.
I also
I
sold
bought
my grappling hook.
3 rations and
spikes.
1 torch.
Then, do you guys want to find sort of? Let's look around if there's a caravan going that way, because we might as well. Just ask around in the bar or near the well, people hanging around.
Since you've charmed the bar owner, you can step right back in the bar now. So that's cool.
To the shock of everybody.
Yeah. Actually, there's a
We're
whole
back,
group
everyone.
here that they're just like, yay! You know, like a group that
Trevor
you partied with.
bows.
Half of them love us, half of them
You're
hate
gonna-
us.
You're gonna have to roll the stats and names of these guys, because next time we're in town, we know who we're drinking with.
Yeah, they motion you over. They say, well, let me see. Yeah, let's start here. 992. Interesting. There's a another different scarred man with a big scar on his face, and when you come over, he knocks a thing of ale off the table. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Traveler, Yuri, Druga, come on over, have a seat." You don't remember this guy's name.
Yeah, exactly.
Always a pleasure, old friend. Tell me, how was life there?
Yeah. Oh, it was great. We had to head up to our rooms before old Percy thought we were involved. I'm sorry you took the fall for everything and got tossed out in the mud, you know. But
Oh, don't worry.
We worked
My
it out.
companion here, and I'll motion to our wizard. He managed to get us back in good graces.
I'll roll a reaction.
Maybe
Oh
what we need.
boy, 11 on top of that.
Trevor
Okay.
takes a dragon winks.
This the scarred-faced man, he turns and knocks something else off the table and almost knocks the table. He's like, "Whoa, I'm sorry about that." Hey, so you were trying to get out as well, were you? You got the mark, you know, and you can see where there's a red mark where there was a collar on his neck. He shows you. You also trying to get out?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, anyone with a free spirit that you all have, just won't fit in a place like this, even if you try. I know the feeling. Yep. So, I suppose we'll be going through the mist soon, huh? One-way trip, I say. It's worth it, though. I would rather live that way than this way. Or I would rather die than live like that.
We
You
will
should come
live.
with
We'll
us.
come back strong and full of loot. Looks like it.
You think you'll find loot in the mists?
Aye, loot and glory. What say ye, mister?
You're even
And
crazier
without-
than I thought.
You should
Routnick.
have seen me back in, Damn right.
It
Yeah.
sounds like
In that-
we got this guy on our side last night to come with us.
We got a
Oh,
hireling,
boy.
people.
Yeah.
He talks for a while, and he talks about how they've tried to prepare everything, but he has this really strong fatalistic attitude. He just thinks it's like he's knowingly going into something suicidal, and he just knows it. You don't get the impression he's going with you. That's not what he seems to
Oh.
be saying. But he doesn't. He just assumes. Actually, it's the opposite. He assumes you're going with them, but also of note, he's not going toward Thorald or the palace. He's or where you think it is, because you heard that it was north of Thorald. He's going directly north, straight into the mists on the other side of the ridge.
Right.
Okay, how are we
Boy.
gonna convince this guy to join us on our quest instead?
I might have a couple of ideas.
Oh no!
Oh, yes.
All right.
Tell me something, old friend. a quick reminder of why you're heading up so fatalistically, because there is life still to live.
Not much longer. Not if those Galuvian guards make it up this a ways. And
I see.
I know they don't come and patrol near Mir that often, but the deal is that we have to clear out by then, and I think Percy has made people like you and me a fair deal. It's not fair to the hot halflings here for us to be around when the guards show up. So,
Now see, I have an alternative plan for you, which will keep us out of the halfling's hair for the spell, and allow us to live free, even in the face of that wretched excuse they have for a queen.
there are
How would you feel instead?
two
about
other
you
people
and me?
here, and they lean in when you say that.
Oh, okay, we might be starting something. How would you, and looks like a lot of you now, feel about instead of going straight north, we go northwest to a certain old ruin?
The palace.
Aye, the palace, with enough gold in there to supply a man for years.
Why,
They'll never be able to touch us.
you'd have to travel through the Moorfowl Mountains to get to the palace. It would be icy crags and all the things that they say stay up at... Well, we are about to march into that mist, though, aren't we?
And besides, do you want to deal with that, or do you want to deal with that insane duchess?
What have you got to lose?
Why dies with
Thrall, you'll have
friends?
us on your side.
Why dies with friends when you can dies with more friends?
Interesting.
Or live.
It's
Possibly
not...
too.
I've never thought of about that before. We'd have to stay away from Thorald, you and I. We couldn't afford to be seen there, but...
We'll live off land.
I think here in Galuvia, the land lives off you. It's the...
More reason to tame the wilds. So think it over. Bring some fellow men-at-arms if you would. But know that we are going to that palace, and we are coming out of there heaping with gold.
What's your charisma modifier?
+2.
What? Really?
Yeah. His dexterity, constitution, and wisdom are wretched for a dwarf, but his charisma is off the charts by the standards of this game.
Oh, it's good that you're the one making the pitch then, because he thinks for a second, he strokes his chin, he says, "What do you think, lads? Forest full of monsters, strange things in the mountains, freezing to death, a mythical palace that's said to be destroyed by an explosion by evil sorceress magic, or we march into a mist and die." And the others are like, let's do it. Let's do it, Mateo. And let me actually get the other guy that just spoke too.
Mateo, his name's Mateo.
Oh, this is interesting to me. His name's...
Same name as the scribe.
So he didn't have a Scottish accent, which is fine, but he's a dwarf, the other one, and he... Wait, I missed it. Gosh darn it. Let me look.
Your time,
5'11".
Nostress.
Oh, yeah. He's one-eyed. A one-eyed dwarf. And he immediately starts praying in Dwarvish. He's a religious dwarf. Seems to be a thing among the dwarves.
And what's the names of your companions here, Mateo?
This is my dwarven companion Zorley. And he's probably the only dwarf you've seen here, I think. No, there was the one last night too. Or, I mean, the one back in Galuvia, 10, 18, 14. This is interesting. Give me a second. And one is a halfling, and it's actually a female halfling. It seems to be on the run for some reason.
Must have been a wrong thinker.
And her name is Sage. Mateo, Zorley, and Sage. These are all level 0. But they can carry stuff,
Right.
and they have stuff already. But not much, so you probably have to outfit them.
That's okay by me. I've got 12 gold left, and I assume you guys are willing to chip in as well.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Hey, you know, I just picked up that hand axe. I'll hand one of them the hand axe.
Oh, nice. They have a lot of equipment, actually. Let's see what they got. 10, 3, 2. What's theirs is yours, so that's pretty handy. 10, 3, 2. A grappling hook, a pole, and a dagger. And that's what Mateo has. Zorley has a flask of oil. A short bow with 5 arrows.
Okay.
And actually 2 flasks of oil. And then let's see, the number 3 one, so 12, 6, 2, 9. Flint and steel, oil flask, and a dagger. So all of them have some kind of weapon they can use. But they're all level 0. They only have their ancestry feature.
In that case, we're gonna have to buy them some armor and some better weapons.
Let's
The armor and
pitch in-
weapons may have to come later. We don't got too much more money, do we?
All right, so here's what we do. We pitch in our last bit of money for another, what is it, carousel, and level these guys up.
Will that actually do it?
I will say that what I honestly don't.
Is
how
it
do
like-
you?
I was joking,
Is it
but hey,
5
if it works.
XP or 10 XP
I-
for level 1?
I think that you just have to survive a gauntlet, which I will count this as a gauntlet. Like if you pay 30 gold, yeah, I'll say that levels them to 1.
I
But
chip in 10 of my 12.
the only thing they'll get out of that is a class and a hit points, which is good. You know, that's still a lot, but
But that implies there's a chance they won't survive.
They'll survive.
This is like as if it's a gauntlet, right? It's like-
yeah, I won't I
I'm
won't
just-
say
again,
that,
I'm
but
just joking, but
it's a good idea. They definitely need to. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, you get the
Is
impression
there
that
any other
oh,
pubs
sorry.
in town? Because we can make asses of ourselves there and then come back here now that we're in good graces again.
Yeah.
Oh, we've
Oh my
we've
goodness.
charmed the local barkeep. We can ruin it a second time, I suppose.
Oh my gosh,
That might
We're leaving
snap
anyway.
him out of it though.
For,
Because
for what it's worth, for what it's worth, I don't want to give these guys too much. I don't want to invest too much. I know. I mean, of course,
fair.
if everybody agrees that we want to do it, I'll chip in. But my
I'll
my
chip in
vote is
10.
my vote is we just take them along with us as they are.
we've got to get that recommendation first, and then
Yeah.
also ask if he can give us some kind of recommendation sign or password for all the brigands and bandits, and then wreck his
Oh.
tavern again.
I gotta do a couple of encounter checks. Y'all have been in town now for about 6 hours. Interesting. Something happens.
If we end up doing the carousing again, we're gonna have to like bring this up to Kelsey and be like, okay, so
Well, you know, more carousing if we're lucky might even guarantee to level ourselves up.
wouldn't
that was
that be
doubly worth
goofy?
it.
Meanwhile, there's a strange halfling sitting by himself far in the back. He's haggard looking and has these big mutton chops and one big eye, and he's just peering, just like staring at Yuri. and bald. That's all.
Yuri, that guy's got his eyes on you.
It's kind of freakings me out. He hasn't
Maybe
blinked.
Yuri, you
maybe he'll join
oughta
us as
punch
well.
him.
Can we switch tables? He's really gross.
You can. You can just like switch tables and he's just like farther away now because you get away from him, and it's even more awkward because he knows that you switched tables, and he's way back here and he's still staring.
It's kind of huddled together a bit and turn our backs on him, and every once in a while I'll check. Oh, is he still looking? Yeah, he's still
Looking at
looking.
us.
He still hasn't blinked.
All right. What next?
Well, we want to get that recommendation from Percy.
Yeah. Okay.
And-
So.
And then I know Tanner chipped in 10, so that's 5 from the rest of us to do this carousing at the other tavern in town.
Done and done.
Alright,
Okay.
5 more coins in.
All right, so you go back to the store and you see that you've got these people, and he says, "Oh, Mateo, how are you doing today?" And Mateo's like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing great. Hey, you know these guys?" And Percy thinks for a second. He looks back and he's like, "Yeah, I know them," and he's like, Percy, I'm sorry about what happened last night." And he actually talks for a while and is just completely honest with Percy, and it even softens Percy up even more. And then he's like, "We're gonna do something strange, Percy. We're not going for the mountains. We're gonna try to go, or we're not going for the mist. We're gonna go into the mountains, Percy." And this is actually, I gotta bring something up for this map of Mystara, because we're getting kind of weird now. Let's see here. Let's see if I can.
Now it's getting weird.
Because I don't remember what this place is, so I have to kind of zoom in and look here. He says, "Yeah, here it is." And Percy leans in. He's like, "You're gonna try to make it into the great north, into the plateaus and the deserts, the Badlands." And you know, you all don't know what he's talking about, but Mateo nods. He's like, "Yeah. No one that's gone into the mist has come back, Percy. We're gonna try this. We're gonna see if we can make it beyond the mountains into the Badlands." And Percy's like, and Percy looks at you all with newfound respect. And yeah, and he completes this letter of sort of like a letter of recommendation, a kind of a thing saying, you know, please receive my friends, and help them on their journeys as they have helped me much on mine. You know, as one very kind, warm letter that he writes for you all. And then he writes a missive that you could hypothetically give one time to a group, assuming they might be fugitives.
Okay. Well, we've had a full day of work. Time to head to the tavern.
And at that, Percy kind of looks nervous. "Oh, gonna hit the tavern early, huh?"
Don't worry, it's gonna be the other ones. This
Oh.
time.
You're gonna try to go to the Halfling Tavern.
Alright. We'll be good.
All right. Well,
Leans in. We won't be goods.
good luck with that. And yeah, so you go over to the other the Halfling Tavern, and it's let's see, on the door, a sign hangs. It has actually, I bet I could just draw the sign. These are always supposed to be simple, right? Because it's like a bunch of illiterate people. So it's like a
Nice.
it's like a snake, like that. But the snake has a little crown on its head, and for those that can read, it says in common, "The Noble Serpent."
It's an excellent pub name.
And when you when you enter, it is not like the other one. It is sort of like a pub where you have like tiers that you can go up into, like a what do you call it, like a loft, and everyone in here is a halfling, and when you enter, everything goes quiet and everybody stares at you.
You know, it's not kind to stare at people with deficiencies. I was cursed by a great dragon to be very tall, but I am a halfling.
What's your charisma?
It's a 0.
Yeah, several of the halflings kind of dodder towards you, some of the halfling men, and they're like, I think maybe you should take that giant curse of yours somewhere else.
Now maybe we should talk, spibbity boppity boo.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, no.
It went
no.
south!
Oh, no. All right. So
They
you lose
know!
it. Yeah. Does that mean the target knows it was magically charmed after the spell ends? More of them come up and they can see that you tried to cast a spell, and they get clubs out and they start coming after you all. Actually, they chase you out.
We were just leaving. The hell out of here.
Everybody can make a if you're trying to get out without getting beaten on your arse by these halflings with clubs, you can try to make a dexterity or strength check at DC 12 to move past.
I'm gonna use strength because I've got grit, so that means I'll be rolling 2.
I'm gonna do a strength.
Trevor gets a good whack.
Hey.
Did I?
Natural 20. Okay.
All right, so
Jonah,
Jonah, Yuri, Trevor. Jonah, Yuri, Trevor. You each take 1 point of damage as you're whopped in the ass as they beat you like over the head and the shoulders and stuff, and chase you out of into the town square, out of the tavern. And then one of them's like, and never come back.
Sadly,
We're gonna-
I'll be taking a WAP too, because neither of those succeeded. Wait, did you say DC 12?
Yeah, DC 12.
Yeah, that was a 5
Oh,
and a 9.
I saw 14 because you rolled 2. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I do have a great axe still we could do.
A what?
A great axe. We don't have to take this shit.
Oh gosh.
You know, I'm okay with lies, deceit, theft, destruction of property, mild arson, and
Mild.
plethora of other crimes, but maybe not murders quite just
A little
yet.
over the top.
Fine, I'll save it for the palace unless something ganks us.
Alright, fine. We'll mess up our bar.
All right, you go back into your bar. Let me see if there's an encounter here.
Bad news, Percy.
Oh no, Percy's in there because it's evening time now. There's no
He knew
encounter.
that we wouldn't get into that bar.
I'm gonna roll 2 more because you're gonna be here probably tonight. Okay. And then are you guys gonna try to blow your money here and drink
Yeah.
to get these guys up to level 1? All right.
I've got, and you guys know I've put forth 10 gold pieces to the carousing.
I put forth 5.
We're gonna
Yeah,
hit
I've
level
put
2
forth
for us
5.
and level 1 for them.
That's true too.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys will get level 2 probably.
Wow.
So this is day. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're on day 4. So 4 days have passed. It's now the 27th of Ambermont, and
So is Percy buying our food tonight?
You
What are
better.
we paying?
Loshdane. Yeah, so you had food yesterday, so I think it's going to depend on the carousing results. So you guys
Okay.
spend 30 gold together.
Yeah.
All right.
I put forth a third of it.
Joni, you can roll a d8.
How much
All
XP
right.
did we get last time again?
3.
We got a 5 last time.
You got
Need 5 or more, dude. 5 or more.
Oh,
That's 3.
All right. I need to know all of the money that you all have
we
Oh.
just
in your inventory.
Oh,
1 gold.
1 gold.
And it's 10 coins to the next coin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I've got 1 gold, 7 silver, and 8 copper.
Actually,
Yuri has
I'm
nothing.
I'm just gonna leave. So it's good news if you have nothing in this case. I'm just gonna leave the math to you all. You have a roaring good night, and yes, you do have your food paid for on the second day in town, so no need to pay for food. That means that you get your spells back and your hit points as well. So, however, you wake up the next morning. And
Awesome.
you wake up in a ditch on the outside of town, covered in roughage from the outdoors, as if you're some kind of
spit.
yeah. And you don't know how you got there, but you just wake up in the ditch, and 15% of your total wealth each is gone, and you also get
alright.
3 XP, and you now have
Sweet.
level 1 people with you, which
And for level 2.
I would suggest.
I'm 1 point away.
I wouldn't suggest, actually, I'm going to say Mateo. Zorli is another dwarven cleric, but a lawful one.
Check, can you hear me? Yeah, looks like it.
Yep, made it back.
Yeah. And the other 2 are thieves.
Perfect.
All right.
So I hit level 2. I will just roll that stuff real quick.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Wait, how much did we gain from that?
Another 3
I was
XP.
doing the math.
So this session
3
so far,
XP.
you've gotten 7 XP.
Well, I'm level 2 as well. I think everybody is then actually.
Now I'm
Yeah,
going to put
that'll
this.
give me 10 XP as well.
I'm 1 away.
Oh man, you can put this in the results. Or I'm sorry, you can apply this right now, but I'm going to put this in the results tonight as well, so you don't, just for your record keeping. But yeah, it's 7 XP so far this session. And let's see, the thief, both of them have 5 hit points now, and let me roll for the cleric. He has 1. Oh, he's only got 2 hit points.
We'll keep him in the back.
Oh, if he's a dwarf, he gets advantage on his hit points.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
So actually, I'm going to re-roll.
Thank you for reminding me as well.
Oh yeah,
3
that's good to
and
know.
5. He actually has 8 hit points because he's a
Ooh.
dwarf.
Nice.
Did we
Or more hit
heal
points.
overnight? Did I hear you mention that? Because those halflings literally beat Yuri half to death.
Yeah. You have all your hit points and your spells back.
All 2 of
guess
them,
not.
great.
Hey.
And
Remember,
I get to pick a new spell.
Trevor peels his face off the ground, looks at everybody. How comes you always look so good?
It's a D8 for fighter's hit points, right?
Yes.
think- Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll roll my talent
Right,
here in
6
front of me.
minus,
4. Okay.
6 minus 1
Better
is
at
5.
attacking.
No,
Very nice.
11. Magnificent. Oh, and talent. We get to roll on the talent chart.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yeah,
wait. Actually, no,
I
you
think that's
don't.
your third
I
level.
think it's
Yeah.
level.
Oh, you
I
don't?
think it's level 3. Yeah.
Yeah, only
Okay.
every other level.
Never mind, never mind. I'll just
May
make note that
erase
I rolled
that.
10 for that one when it's ready.
Your hirelings do, but I won't resolve that just yet.
Fine.
Well, actually, I will because they might die soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
they'll
that-
kind of need it, won't they?
Yeah, 6 and 12. 2 to Dex, and 12 is. Wow. That's incredible. And priest. So, what's the plan? You're in a ditch when you wake up on the day 5.
We're gonna
Sorry.
run around, get our pack together here, find our 3 new friends, and head out.
All right, you do that. They're in the ditch with you. They were your
Okay.
drinking buddies. Yeah, they're right there with you.
Okay.
So, all right.
Yeah, we'll splash some water in their face and slap them a little bit, so just gently a little bit, get them up and say, hey, time to head into the mountains. Come on.
Pat, 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 Mateo. Pat, pat, pat. Mateo, sweet prince. Pat, pat, pat.
You boys ready to throw your life away?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, and he's got like, for some reason, he's got like wet, gooey stuff on him. He takes it off. He's like, oh, we drank a lot last night.
Aye, we did, but it's put meat on your bones. Come on, make yourself look alive. We're heading out.
They all get up. Shadowdark, the game about alcohol glamorization.
That is a
That's
major
right, too.
Conan vibe right there.
Yeah, I can't complain about it because it's archetypal. It's fitting the stuff. All right. Yeah, and games haven't really done that except DCC Linkmar. So yeah.
I hate to burst your bubble, but believe it or not,
No,
as
please
early
do.
as like the first year or 2 of Dragon, there was carousing rules.
Oh, great. I mean,
Yeah, and you could either do carousing, support
mean,
the arts, tithe to the church, and
that's
there'd be,
probably that's
mix and
probably
match.
like I'm doing this by the book, but if I keep running this or if I do in the future, that's what it's going to turn into. It's going to be, oh, you're a cleric, go do cleric-y things, do whatever you want. Actually, is what it'll turn into.
I love it.
That
And
makes
I think
sense,
there were a
though,
couple
yeah.
of other RPGs with carousing, but
So-
again, that's not exactly a bad thing.
So, Daniel, what do we do?
The road heading directly west out of Mir along the foothills through the forest, we're going that way.
Very well. You no longer have a guide.
We do have a ranger.
You do have a ranger who can do this at advantage. That is correct. If the ranger wishes to, you can make a wisdom. I think it's supposed to be intelligence, but you can use your wisdom if you prefer at advantage for DC 12. Navigate.
Success.
One of them passes. You're confident that you know where you are. I'll describe the area around you. Let's see here. 2, So this would make for 6 checks a day at this point. It is actually a very fine day outside, apart from being muddy. You feel almost the hint of fall at the height of Ambermont, but you think perhaps it's just the chill winds coming over the mountains. But it is actually something crisp and cool, and makes traveling through the mud and wading through the insects that bite at your ears more tolerable. And it's a very pretty day outside. And you travel that way until night falls for 12 miles straight. Now, each day you could choose to try to drive further into the dark, but it is dark. Whenever it's dark outside, we move to the Shadowdark rules. So the danger increases dramatically if you're not using a light. But you could also use light, or you can use your torches. This game does not have wilderness survival rules, so I'll say, I think I mentioned this before, I'll say you can gather wood, but it will take like watches to do that, and with encounters. Okay. Assuming it's dry, which I'll say you could find right now. I think that's what I said, right? Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is almost the exact same, if not the same.
So essentially, you can stop early and not travel 12 miles. You could travel 9 or 8 miles, and then stop for the day, take a full watch to gather wood, and make a check. I'll also say you got to do a check to do it, and then you can use it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you got to use your torches.
Okay. Let's try that out. Why not? Let's see how that subsystem works. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Anybody wanting to? Now you can also do other things. You know, if somebody else is doing something else during the watch. I've already rolled for it. But anybody gathering wood can make a wisdom check, DC 12.
I will make that check with a +2.
Druga can do it at advantage, of course. Looks like a bunch of people are able to do it.
Success on the second roll.
Night falls, and I wonder if I can make it dim instead of bright. Yeah, there we go.
Just for the record, Yuri does not take a watch. He assists someone with their watch, and he casts protection from evil on them
Nice.
during their watch.
All right.
You can assist me with my watch.
All right. So, let's see.
It does make you receive a blessing to Ord, though, whether or not you like it.
Oh, Ord's all right with me.
I'm sorry.
All right. Do you all have a particular watch or like an order, or do you want me to just roll?
Oh, I'll go first.
I'm okay with just rolling.
I mean, yeah.
This will
Whatever.
be the third watch in the night. If it's based on a roll, I have Trevor on watch.
Yeah, let's just do that.
All right, Trevor.
As a wizard, it's very important that I get my sleep.
Yeah, you could
Otherwise,
say
the
that like
magic
it's.
works.
You could say you're like asleep, and then you've got maybe Mateo with you or something, or
Cast a light on a stick as well, so that we got a bit more.
let's see here.
Blow it. Oh, I did too.
Oh no. That won't count against the next day unless you're not able to get sleep. But you hear something in the darkness. It's some massive, squat, bulbous figure in the misty dark that you see, and you hear this reverberating coming from it, and then there's these like to your modern mind, it'd almost be like tiny helicopters, and they like start coming around it, and then like all of a sudden, like something snaps out of this giant, small, almost like hillside thing that you see across from you about 50 yards away, and tries to snatch one of those things out of the air with what looks like almost like a tendril. You're not able to quite make it out. This is just a form you see in the dark, flickering from your campfire light. What do you do?
Trevor runs around, starts poking everybody with sticks. Is something scary out there?
What?
Something.
Is it something scary that needs a great sword to it?
Grab my spear.
Do
All
that
right.
thing where you hit it with sharp stuff.
You all wake up, you hear a squawk, like reverberating through the night air, and you hear this terrible buzzing sound, almost like a helicopter, and there's several of them, and this tendril lapping out of this small, almost like hill mound, but it's some being that's just sitting out there in the dark, whack, and like hitting something in the air with what looks like almost like a tentacle.
Trevor hides behind
I
a
think it
tree.
might be Strix.
Would you say, Tanner?
I think it might be Strix.
Strigs?
Not sure
It's
what
like
that
the
is.
mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Sturges, maybe, right? Sturges.
Sturges, pardon.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, I always think Strix.
I don't know. What do you all, what do you do, Daniel, since everybody's awake?
This thing isn't moving towards us, it doesn't look like, right?
So far, it doesn't seem to be moving towards you.
Is our campfire currently lit, or are we in the darkness?
It's lit, yeah.
Okay.
Well then right away I'm gonna cast light on my long sword just in case. Might help us out.
Zing! Oh, well, actually, let's see if you can cast it. Yeah. Shing,
There you go.
and your
Success.
your longsword lights up in the dark. I do think it takes notice of you now. Let me give it some chances to.
Oh.
My
do some
my
things.
immediate next action, if I have time, is I'm going to cast Holy Weapon on let's see, I'm gonna cast Holy Weapon on Raltz's weapon.
Like, you're
Let's see if it succeeds. It does. I'll hold my tongue for now because
Holy
I'm sure I
Weapon.
don't have much more time.
Let's see here.
I think I would quickly just stuff anything that was laying on the ground that I had into my pack, in case we gotta book it.
So you got 3 people with you now. You got all these people here, and then you see these things. All right. And let's see. One of these is dead. It's fighting this one and kills another one. Finally, the other one flies off, and it starts loping towards you, and starts coming closer.
Mateo, shoot the thing!
Robic's gonna step forward once he's done shooting and take a swing at it.
Okay, I'll give you a surprise round. It was not ready for that, so you can just roll the hit. You got to hit armor class 12. That hits for 2 damage. Is that right?
It's 1,
2 damage from Trevor.
Okay.
and it's 1d20 plus 2 for my talents, or 1d20 plus 3, including strength.
What? What do you? Huh?
Well, wouldn't matter anyway. I rolled a 3, but
Okay.
with strength and talents, my to hit is plus 3. But I just want to know if strength was included with that, or if
It
it's
is
not
not.
included with
Yeah,
damage.
according to the rules, it just says if you have talents, you add them. When I read the attack roll in melee.
Okay.
All right. So if anybody else wants to attack, you can. You have a surprise round. I'll have these.
Oh
people.
yeah, I'll get
Do it.
behind Routneck and try and spear it on the side.
Ooh,
so.
an at 20.
Yay.
Oh, so many.
20 with my longsword connects for probably connects for 5 damage.
Much better.
Yeah, and you
Plus
can
2.
roll again with that d8. With a nat 20. Oh, wait, no, you got a 19. Okay. Yeah, so 5. Okay. And then...
+1, so 3 damage from me.
All right. Describe how you slay this carriage-sized frog.
Oh, wow. Boy, we really ganked this thing. We just all stepped right out of the dark and surprised this guy with sharp sticks. Boy.
Rip it
Like
apart.
we valued the rare Pepe.
Feels bad, man.
Good for us, though.
Yeah.
All right.
These are where the giant frog legs came from. They're eating these things.
We have a hunter. That's all legit for rations.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we take its
We
legs.
probably, yeah, we can probably find some like berries or stuff to serve as a sauce.
Do you all want to take a watch in the day, take 3 hours out of your traveling day, and try to slice this thing up and cook its frog legs and make...
Sure.
I think
Okay.
we should.
They were good at the tavern. They're gonna be good here.
All right, let me do... let me check the checks for the day. See where they fall. Okay, so...
Into the Weird and Wild has some really cool harvesting rules. When you kill something, you can spend time cleaning it up. Sometimes you'll find this super rare, I don't know, like part of the animal, or you can use it for rations.
that
pretty
is-
wild.
I need to take a look at that, because I'm...
It's good. Highly recommend.
I briefly played with those rules in the Friday Night Moon Throne, but because it was a bit hit and miss, I opted against. But know that it's good stuff, really good stuff.
Trevor, so you all are trying to dice up this giant frog and take it to a fire and prepare it to eat for the day. It's going well. I will say everybody does need to make a DC 12 wisdom check, and Druga can do it at advantage. I mean, if everybody just rolls terribly, this will go wrong. This game does seem designed to make checks, like a modern game.
Actual
17
20.
or-
Okay, so you're able to do it. You're able to slice everything up, and so you have food for the day. So you don't have. So you should mark off a ration from the previous day, but not this day.
Okay.
So we're on day 7, I think now. But anyways, meanwhile, while you're waiting for this stuff to cook, what is Trevor doing? Is he helping to dice stuff up, or what's Trevor doing?
He's helping in the way of just kind of standing behind everybody and quietly muttering what they should be doing and how this happens. And
He's a delegator.
All right. So while you're doing that, and you're like, arms crossed, telling people how they ought to do it, especially the new guys, right? You're standing there. All of a sudden, you hear a whisper, a psst, psst.
says, yes, you're going to take that legs and put it over there. Excuse me.
And then like straight up, like a foot and a half from your face, is an old man just staring at you.
Hello there.
Hello.
No one else sees this.
Never mind.
And
lads, I think maybe we shouldn't eat the frog.
it is a pale
Right now.
wizard. A halfling wizard with big mutton chops and a bald head. He stares at you.
Let me.
And he
It-
holds
what
out
color
his.
are his
Hold on,
boots?
you don't see him. He holds out his hand, and in his hand are a set of dice. He holds it out to you.
Oh.
But are his boots yellow?
Pardon me, sirs, but my mother always told me it's not wise to be rolling dice from strange men in the woods. But in this case, I'll disobey.
What do you do?
He just kind of reaches over and picks up the dice.
Yeah, he
Reaches
just-
under his hat, pulls out a dice cup, raises an eyebrow with a grin.
That's awesome. Are you gonna roll the dice?
Yeah.
Do you have? Oh wow, I didn't expect this. Okay, let me get ready for this.
Oh
So-
no!
so-
I
Someone's
think at
gonna
this
do
point,
it.
Ross, you should be expecting the unexpected.
It just seems like something Trevor would do. Like, hey, mysterious, strange figure that I shouldn't even talk to. Are those dice? Let's do this.
Um,
Oh boy.
this may not be too crazy. No, it's not too crazy. It's just a little crazy. Do you have 2 D10s to form a D100? It can't be online. It has to be offline, clearly, because you know it's dice. So
Got him.
all right, let me know what you get. Oh, a dice cam.
All right,
This
let's see
is-
if we can. I don't know if you'll be able to.
Dice cam for the working man.
That's so dark.
Not showing very well, is it?
No. Yeah,
It's pretty dark.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There's
do
a
we got?
21.
The 21. Okay, so you're standing there. You roll dice. He holds his hand out for you to give the dice back from the thing you rolled in.
Wait, plop them in his bloop.
He takes it back, and you have in your other hand now a chipped great axe.
Ooh.
Chipped, but not broken, or it can be repaired.
I have to roll kind of some more things about it. I guess you wouldn't know these things, but
How strange. Mutton chopped, pale wizard in the woods.
So when he takes the dice and gives him the axe, Trevor like just reaches into a random pocket and pulls out one of the like the cigarellos, lights it on his cigarello, and gives it to him.
as soon as you have the chance to kind of turn around or look or notice anything else at all, you look back at the rock and he's gone.
Looks at the axe, looks at the lit cigarello, stuffs that out, puts it back in his pocket. Excuse me, lads, I just had the strangest encounter.
Seems you got quite the prize for it.
So as yous was going over that frog, I turns around and you remember that really gross little guy, the halfling. Really
One
gross.
was staring at you.
Just disgusting. There's that one. What?
Just disgusting.
I'm sorry, you just heard Austin Powers making fun of Mini-Me there. That was glorious. I mean, he's just so fucking disgusting.
So gross.
Just who creates that?
So
Who
I
brings
turned-
that into the world?
So I don't know if the wizard can use this. Does anyone want this strange great axe that's chipped on the blade?
I've got a weapon, but one sec.
So as I turns around and this little gremlin, can't even say with it, I'm gonna giggle the whole time. He gives me some dice. So I takes up my hat cup and I puts the dice in it and I rolls them. And whatever it is that I rolled, he hands me this axe. But I don't know how to use an axe. Because it's like a staff, like the one I've got. But it's got metal on it. And that changes things.
Let's see here. So what I rolled up. So here you are. You're saying all this stuff, and everybody's looking at you, and you're holding the axe. Everybody's just gawking at you.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody's looking at you like, what in the heck?
Druga kind of motions to Druga kind of motions to you, and it's kind of like, well, we got this giant frog in front of it. Give it a cleave.
Meanwhile, for everybody else, you see Trevor, and Trevor is the most dashing you could have ever imagined Trevor being. He's got like an absolutely ridiculous, dapper, curving mustache, and his hair is like a dew, and he's got like a shining cuirass that he's in that's ceremonial armor and fancy pants with curly shoes. And he's the most fancy you could have ever imagined Trevor being.
So naturally, he hasn't changed at all.
When did you change into that?
Changes into what?
Your whole getup.
Well, I've been wearing the same things for several weeks. You want an axe?
Boy, what was in that ale we drank?
I
Oh,
think.
I think it might
Call me
be.
crazy, but I think. Call me crazy, but I think the axe is causing you that.
Here, can I see that?
Of course.
I'll take the axe from him.
As soon as you hand him the axe, I mean, you tell me, what does Daniel look like when he's like the most dapper, noble, dashing gentleman that he ever could possibly be?
He's aspiring to be a knight, so he's like full regalia of of the head of the knight brotherhood.
Yeah, you have like full armor. You don't get the benefits of any of that, but it even clinks when you move. Like it looks absolutely real.
So, as it's in my professional opinions, based off the evidence presented here before us, that this axe may have some magical properties to it.
Seems that way.
All right, what do you all do next?
This thing is chipped, but does it look like it could be used for fighting?
Yeah, and so the blade is chipped, but the blade is also very fine. While the wood is old, old and darkened and stained, the blade has these fine etchings and filigree on it. You think that if you aspire, does anybody have the noble background?
I do not.
Anything like that?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe surgeon?
It looks fancy then, if you don't have any kind of background like that.
I've written it down as the great axe of profound dappery.
That's a good name.
All right.
One of our new henchmen here need a weapon other than a dagger, I believe, as one of them had.
Hey, you're new. Have this incredible magic axe.
Here, let's have this magic item.
He's not
for
giving it back.
spell.
I totally support this.
Um,
These are so well taken care of, our NPCs.
I guess
level 'em up,
thieves
man.
can use
Magic
any
item.
weapon.
Can a thief? They can?
I think
Ooh.
so.
I was wondering.
Maybe not. I mean, that's a. You know what? I'm always
Oh
surprised.
no,
by this game.
they cannot. They have
Club,
clubs,
crossbow, dagger, short
crossbows,
sword.
daggers. Yeah.
That's so punishing for a class that gets D4 hit points.
Yeah, they're really
Wow.
not made to fight.
And
I used him to
swords
be a
and-
fighter since he's marching off to his death.
Well, anyone can carry it. Who do you hand it to? You can. I don't even know if I don't think any of them can even use it.
What were their classes again? Thief, cleric, and what?
Thief.
Oh,
Yeah,
thief again. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I'm looking at the priest, and yeah, they can't use it.
Okay. Oh well. Here, Trevor, you found it. You can hold on to it.
All right,
Be
he
dapper.
hands it to like everybody in the group for a bit, just because everybody needs to.
See their most ideal self.
Everybody looks so fancy, and they don't. And you hand it to Routnick, and he doesn't even smell. It's actually pretty offensive for Routnick, probably.
This is powerful magic.
Honestly, between his low stats, part of me is wondering if he's this world's equivalent of like a gully dwarf. So when he takes the axe, he probably looks like a more proper dwarf.
Yeah, looks like a dwarf. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see here. You spend 3 hours. This is what happens while you're dicing up the giant frog. You are able to cook and eat it, and use the food for the day. And then this weird thing happens, and then you travel for a few miles, and then something else happens.
If anybody's having a bad days, you just take the eggs and you look fancies for a bit. Any times you need.
Something really bad happens.
You're saying we use the axe to pick up people at taverns? Is that what you're getting at?
Oh, that works
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you hear caw, caw, like, and there's like a few of them, caw, caw, and you see like what looks like buzzards, but they're off in the hills, you know, kind of to your right here, and you realize one of them lands on like a tree, and the tree bows under its weight. And they are not vultures. They're much, much larger and probably farther away. And sorry, that was loud. And they notice you, and all of a sudden they start flying towards you.
Ooh, let's hide in the trees.
Yeah, duck into the forest there.
They're gonna pick us off from the trees.
You do see a cave nearby.
Then we'll hide in the cave,
Yeah.
or at least set up a guard wall.
Okay. You run in the cave. Something else I wasn't prepared for, which is great. I'm having fun. Let me see here. Give me a second.
I
Like I
totally
said,
thought
man.
they were.
They were what?
I thought there was like a red herring kind of a thing. It's like, huh? They went into the cave, the fools.
I thought that too, but if those are what I think they are, then I think we're better off taking our chances in the cave.
Down, down to Goblin Town.
The entire
Yeah.
campaign
Oh,
changes. What did you say?
I said, ho ho, my lad.
Oh, my
Goes
lad.
down to Goblin
Oh,
Town.
right. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, gosh darn it. Where is it?
Check the back to this cave.
Oh, here we are, maybe. Let me see if I have a cave. 6. I suppose the best I have right now is this Theater of the Mind map. And I can make it dark. And I assume you go in the cave and someone lights a torch.
Or uses light.
Yeah, Trevor will
Try to use
attempt.
light.
He'll make an attempt.
Go
He's
for
a
it.
little.
Nine.
Oh, good.
Success.
Okay. Right.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Let's see here. You enter this dank cave, and
So I can mark it on the map. Is this towards the tree line, or is this towards the foothills in the mountains?
toward the tree line. Yeah,
Okay.
away from them. That's things are getting weird really fast here. You rush into this cave and you're like, you know, and you're holding the torch and you're waiting and you hear outside, caw, caw, you know, and they're circling outside. And then somebody, like, you hear a voice like, oh, what is it? What's out there? And you realize it's not a voice you've ever heard before.
Turn to
Who's
it.
that in here?
Very surprised. Who's that?
Excuse me. Is that one?
Feather is
It's an old stringy dwarf. He's like kind of skinny. He's got a long stringy white beard, and he's like, "Oh, well, my name's Riga. What? Why are you in my cave? Is it is still happening out there? The end of
What's
the
happening?
world?
Something like that, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, suppose we can have dinner then." He sits down, splashes down into the cave. You realize, you look at him, he's like he looks like very pale. And he has like a bunch of things that he's gathered here in the cave. A bunch of what do you call those?
Knickknacks?
Not crawfish. I'm trying to think of their. No, they are crawfish. They're little like different bottom feeders that just hang out in there. And he's just gathered that and a bunch of bugs, and he sits down and starts eating. And meanwhile, outside the cave,
May we join you?
Crawfish and booze, you say?
crawfish and bugs, insects.
Bugs.
Squirmy, crawly ones, juicy ones.
Oh,
And you
never
will
mind.
have-
I misheard that second part.
He's like,
Trevor.
he slurps in a big slimy grub. He looks up. He's like, "Well, I'll go ahead."
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Keeping his eye on the entrance of the cave, Raltnik will help himself to some crawfish. Also, am I related to this guy?
That's a good question. Let's roll a chaos die.
Because,
No, you're not.
aw.
Yeah.
Wait, Uncle Riga?
As you can see, it runs in the family,
It
unfortunately.
does seem you're finding every dwarf in this province somehow. That is true.
It's payback from the last
It-
campaign.
Not
Who
necessarily.
so Druga, you said you eat the crawfish, or I'm sorry, was it Daniel? My bad.
Raltnik the crawfish.
Okay. Well, it's slimy and tastes like fish, like very powerful fish smell, and like dirt. And you find that one of them is still alive when you start chomping into it, as it kind of freaks out when you try to eat it.
That one I spare.
Spit it out, yeah. And he's like,
Oh,
waste
if I've already
not,
taken
what
it-
not, and he grabs it and he
If
eats
I've
it.
already taken a bite, then I'll just continue eating. I'll just quietly say a prayer to the lost god of law for this poor living crawfish's soul.
Yeah, all right.
Trevor just mows down.
Everybody's. Oh, you're gonna eat?
Yeah, Trevor eats. Now, after I saw that wretched, horrible, disgusting gremlin out there, this seems pretty tight.
All right. So you all spend time with Raltnik, and he just eats, and you all eat, and you hear, "Rah, rah," and this goes on for a watch. I'm gonna see in the dark, so I'm gonna actually roll a different one. It goes okay, and finally you hear, "Rah," and then it's silent for about an hour and a half, and you think they've left.
So, Riga, how long you been down here for? Day?
He looks up at you,
Days?
kind of cancerous, milky orbs that have not seen the sun in a long time. He's like, "It's been a few hours at least."
A few hours or a few hundred years.
He looks up at the wall. "I don't know. What year is it?"
Not knowing the year myself, Raltnik will inform him of the year, because I assume that he would know.
Oh, and he's like, "Oh no. Oh no. The Princess Argenta. What happened?"
You knew her.
"Yes, I After the dragon attack, I fled into the mountains. I hid here. The entire mountains, all of it was burned to ash. I didn't leave.
Tell us more.
Well, the elves, we had worked together to craft her gem. And there was a party. There were strange people at the party. And we loved our princess dearly, so we confronted them, and then we found out what they were. And then the dragon
What do you mean? What were they? The dragon?
Aye. They had pulled themselves up from the ground. But not like us. Something else. Some sort of a door, a wound, a fissure from some other place. They want to use the castle.
Use the castle? That's been... That was years and years ago. They must have been using the castle since.
I don't know. I thought it was all destroyed. He gets up, looks out the cave, puts his hands on his hips. He's really scrawny, basically albino, almost translucent. And he's like, he waits for a second. He can kind of see. He's like, oh no. Oh, there's trees there. Oh no. Oh, I guess
Ralvik's gonna run over with his sword. No, don't stay so close to the entrance. There's something out there.
And Raltnik, when you go outside, you look up into the skies and they're empty. It seems that the massive flying things have fled away.
Oh, thank goodness.
And
Riga.
after
Listen,
Riga, after a while, he's like, I suppose the world didn't end. Strange.
It's just been a really slow process.
Oh,
Good fortune.
say Riga, were you ever within Argenta's castle?
oh, of course. The dwarves were always welcome in the palace of the Silver Princess.
We are traveling there now.
Oh,
Would you be willing to serve? If we were to, would you be our guide in those hallowed halls?
I suppose that's the one thing I ought to do, is head back to the palace, figure out what happened. I will travel with you on the condition that if we enter that palace, we will not leave until we know what happened and we solve it.
We will live off the land for as long as need be until the truth is found. Does that sound good to all of you?
Shake his hand.
He spits a nasty thing in his hand and reaches out this, like, slimy, nubby, grubby hand, little tiny fingers,
Very
way
nice.
oversized palm.
Spit in my hand and
Yeah.
shake his hand.
You shake his hand, it's like, it's just squishy and nasty and
Fishy
Nice.
and
fishy.
it reminds me of like the Innsmouth look.
I was thinking of
I'm
that,
personally kind of.
the
Oh,
horror
yeah.
movie, the scary movie where it's like, take my strong hand. It's like that.
Take the strong
My strong hand.
child.
And here I was thinking you were doing
I'm sorry. Wasn't appropriate.
It's fairly appropriate. It's
Anyways.
it's all right, man.
What do we do? Get us out of here.
Yeah,
Get us out of here,
what
Chewie.
time of day is it actually?
Yeah, so let's see. 2 watches have passed, so it is now the afternoon.
Okay. Probably won't get that far. But hey, you know what? If the weather looks fine, we'll just go as far as we can.
All right. Well, that's an interesting thing to say. Do you want to... so you do travel until dark. Now, the rest of your day until darkness is you travel without event, other than it being muddy. You now have Riga the... Let me see what he is. The level 4. And he is a warrior fighter. And
By the way, Riga, since you were a warrior back in your day, I think we have a little something for you for the time being.
Oh, nice.
I think you'll really like it.
yeah, you give him the, the big hand axe.
Oh yeah.
I don't see why not. We'll need to find him some armor, but we'll give him the hand axe at least for now.
He says,
He's
"Oh,
gonna
I
look good."
recognize the etching on this hand axe." He grabs it, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, and it's like he's suddenly princely again, and his hair is back, and his skin is ruddy and full of life, and he's covered in mighty dwarven armor as if a dwarven king.
Now, bear in mind, it only looks like you're in armor, so we'll have to find something for you to wear in the meanwhile.
Oh,
Have we tested that actually?
Just
Have
think-
we tested?
Have we?
I just I don't think we've tested that. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna jab him in the chest.
you jab
Get
him
him-
in the
get a
chest,
stick.
and he just reels.
Just knock on him.
Yeah, he reels over, coughing and spurting stuff out of his lungs from the rough
Oh,
jab you give him.
Well, looks
that
like
is
he
an
was
illusion.
right.
And Reltnik will give him a little bit of a nasty glare, like,
It was for science.
Night comes. Do you try to push forward in the night and use torches, or do you stop?
I
Also,
think we'll
actually, do you want to stop at 9 miles? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, or like 8 or 7 miles, and travel less distance so you have a watch that you can find firewood in.
So the purpose of that is to save the torches we have that we would otherwise use as the firewood, right?
Right, because it takes 3 torches
Right, okay.
to make a campfire.
Okay.
Campfire burns for 8 hours.
Heck, why not? Yeah, we'll go
Check
a little
around
bit less.
Check around for shelter too.
Mhm.
Okay. If somebody wants to check for shelter, you can do that. That could affect your defense and your battle map if you're under attack or if something happens.
I'll check for a shelter. That seems to be a really important thing. Especially, can I use my character's ranger background on
Yeah,
this?
you can take the DC 12 check with advantage, and then looks like other people are finding firewood. And
Alright,
so
I passed on looking for shelter. That's a really good idea, by the way. Definitely. Yeah.
all right, so
Surely
you
helps you.
you find a place with shelter. You find some firewood, and you think you have some good defense. Let's roll for the night, and then this will be the last one. Aha! And then let's see who is on the third watch of the night.
I can do it.
Looks like it's Reltnik. Reltnik, it is. You are on watch when you observe the following thing. I'm out, so I'm gonna have to roll a new one, and that's okay. Let's see here. Or 06 actually. Reltnik, roll a d6.
Okay.
You want to get not that.
1.
Okay. Let's see. All of a sudden, Reltnik, you're not sure where, but there is a hail of arrow fire. And surprised creatures, or creatures that have surprise, attack with advantage. This is really bad. This might be the end, boys. All right. Does anyone have, just so I can just count it, an armor class of 13? Is everybody
Doesn't
above
sound like
armor
it.
class 13?
I have 9.
You have
11.
9. Okay, so let me see. First of all, let's switch this because of what's going on here.
Oh, poor sweet dear Trevor.
I'm just gonna randomly hit targets because they're not gonna know. Hails of arrow fire fly into the cave where they see the fire, and you're trying to keep guard, Routnick, as these arrows just fly from the darkness. And let's see, the first person is Daniel. Does an 18 hit?
Absolutely.
All right, you take 3 damage.
Right.
And then the next one is Druga. Does a 19 hit?
Absolutely.
All right, you take 2 damage. The next one is Routnick. Does an 18 hit? Maybe not.
Yes.
Okay, you take 4 damage. And then a nat 20, unfortunately, on Trevor, which is double damage. And that hits. You take 6 damage.
Oh, he is done.
All right.
Down he goes.
If anybody is down, roll a d4 and add your con modifier. And then lastly, a 13, does that hit Yuri?
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. No, AC's 14 on Yuri.
Awesome. Okay, then it doesn't hit you. Excellent. Okay, and did anyone else go down other than Trevor? No?
Still standing strong.
All right,
I got 7 hit points.
Trevor, you have 5 rounds. And each round you can roll a d20. On a nat 20, you're up at 1 hit point. Otherwise, someone must come to you and use their action to make a DC 15 intelligence check to stabilize you. If anybody has a doctor or physician's... What is it? Oh, yeah, we have multiple medics. You'll do that at advantage. And that is actually where we will end the adventure for tonight while these arrows are